African empires is an umbrella term used in African studies to refer to a number of historical states in Africa with multinational structures, incorporating various populations and polities into a single entity, usually through conquest. Listed below are known African empires and their respective capital cities. Sahelian kingdoms. The Sahelian kingdoms were a series of medieval empires centered on the Sahel, the area of grasslands south of the Sahara. The first major state to rise in this region was the Ghana Empire. The name Ghana, often used by historians, was the regnal title given to the ruler of the Ouagadougou Empire. Centered in what is today Senegal and Mauritania, it was the first to benefit from the introduction of gold mining. Ghana dominated the region between about 750 and 1078. Smaller states in the region at this time included Takara to the west, the Malinka Kingdom of Mali to the south, and the Songhair Empire centered on Gao to the east. When Ghana collapsed in the face of invasion from the Almoravids, a series of brief kingdoms followed, notably that of the Sosa. After 1235, the Mali Empire rose to dominate the region. Located on the Niger River to the west of Ghana in what is today Niger and Mali, it reached its peak in the 1350s, but had lost control of a number of vassal states by 1400. The most powerful of these states was the Songhair Empire, which expanded rapidly beginning with King Soni Ali in the 1460s. By 1500, it had risen to stretch from Cameroon to the Maghreb, the largest state in African history. It too was quite short-lived and collapsed in 1591 as a result of Moroccan musketry. Far to the east, on Lake Chad, the state of Kanem-Bornu, founded as Kanem in the 9th century, now rose to greater preeminence in the central Sahel region. To their west, the loosely united Hausa city-states became dominant. These two states coexisted uneasily, but were quite stable. In 1810, the Sokoto Caliphate rose and conquered the Hausa, creating a more centralized state. It and Kanem-Bornu would continue to exist until the arrival of Europeans, when both states would fall and the region would be divided between France and Great Britain. Yoruba Empire. Empires of 15th–19th century Africa. From the 15th century until the final scramble for Africa in the late 19th century, a number of empires were also established south of the Sahel, especially in West Africa. The West African empires of this period peaked in power in the late 18th century, paralleling the peak of the Atlantic slave trade. These empires implemented a culture of permanent warfare in order to generate the required numbers of captives required to satisfy the demand for slaves by the European colonies. With the gradual abolition of slavery in the European colonial empires during the 19th century, the Nok civilization is considered to be one of the most advanced ancient sub-Saharan civilizations in African history. Beginning sometime around 1500 BCE, it was largely concentrated in what is now Nigeria but produced some of the first sub-Saharan iron smelting and terracotta architecture. Mysteriously died out around 200 CE. The Kingdom of Nri was the West African medieval state of the Nri Igbo, a subgroup of the Igbo people, and is the oldest kingdom in Nigeria. The Kingdom of Nri was unusual in the history of world government in that its leader exercised no military power over his subjects. The Nri managed trade and diplomacy on behalf of the Igbo people, and was the possessor of divine authority in religious matters. The Yoruba Empire was a West African empire of what is today Western Nigeria. The empire was established by the Yoruba in the 15th century and grew to become one of the largest West African states. It rose to preeminence through wealth gained from trade and its possession of a powerful cavalry. The Yoruba Empire was the most politically important state in the region from the mid-17th to the late 18th century, holding sway not only over other Yoruba states, but also over the Fon Kingdom of Dahomey. Benin Empire, a large pre-colonial African state of modern Nigeria. After the decline of the Mali Empire, Kabu became an independent kingdom. Aro Confederacy, a trading union orchestrated by the Igbo subgroup, the Aro people, centered in Erachukwu in present-day southeastern Nigeria. Bonoman, earliest known Akan state. Gold trading and kola nut trading with northern neighbors brought wealth and prosperity to Akan creators of this state. Culture influenced much of modern Akan culture. Ashanti Empire, a pre-colonial Akan West African state of what is now the Ashanti region in Ghana. The empire stretched from central Ghana to present-day Togo and Côte d'Ivoire, bordered by the Dagomba Kingdom to the north and Dahomey to the east. Today, the Ashanti monarchy continues as one of the constitutionally protected, sub-national traditional states within the Republic of Ghana. Various states by Akan people. Congo Empire centered in northeastern Côte d'Ivoire that also encompass much of present-day Burkina Faso. Bamidar Empire based at Ségou, now in Mali. It was ruled by the Kulabali or Kulabali dynasty established circa 1640 by Fa Sine, also known as Biton Cu. The empire existed as a centralized state from 1712 to the 1861 invasion of Tukola conqueror Lhadj Umar Tall. Sokoto Caliphate, an Islamic empire in Nigeria, led by the Sultan of Sokoto, Saadu Abubakar. Founded during the Fulani Jihad in the early 19th century. It was one of the most powerful empires in sub-Saharan Africa prior to European conquest and colonization. The caliphate remained extant through the colonial period and afterwards, though with reduced power. Wassoulou Empire, a short-lived empire built from the conquest of Dilula ruler Samori Toure and destroyed by the French colonial army. Great Lakes. An empire of Katara in the area of the African Great Lakes has long been treated as a historical entity, but is now mostly considered an unhistorical narrative created as a response to the dawn of rule under the LWO Empire. The latter is the sole historical record of an organized Nilotic migration into the area. The Buganda, home of the Buganda people of Uganda. The medieval Swahili city-states. Congo. The Congo Kingdom was a quasi-imperial state, as is evident by the number of peoples and kingdoms that paid it tribute. If not for the large amount of text written by the Essa Congo that repeatedly called themselves a kingdom, they would be listed as the Congo Empire. The Luba Empire arose in the marshy grasslands of the Upemba Depression in what is now Southern Democratic Republic of Congo. Lunda Empire in what is now the Democratic Republic of Congo, northeastern Angola and northwestern Zambia. Its central state was in Katanga. Southern Africa. The Mutapa Empire or Empire of Great Zimbabwe was a medieval kingdom located between the Zambezi and Limpopo rivers of southern Africa in the modern states of Zimbabwe and Mozambique. Remnants of the historical capital are found in the ruins of Great Zimbabwe. Zulu Kingdom. Maravi Empire or Marawai or Merawai or Maro Empire, not to be confused with ancient Maro. Kingdom of Mapungubwa. North Africa. Ancient North Africa. Pre-Islamic empires of North Africa. Kingdom of Kerma. Ancient Egypt. Kingdom of Kush. Nobatia Makuria al-Ordia. Ancient Carthage. Islamic empires in Algeria. Banu Ifrin dynasties. Irid dynasty. Hamadi dynasty. Almohad Caliphate. In Morocco. Idrisid dynasty. Almoravid dynasty. Almohad dynasty. Marina dynasty. Wattasid dynasty. Sadi dynasty. Alaoutab dynasty. In Tunisia. Fatimid dynasties. Irid dynasty. Hafsid dynasty. In Egypt. Fatimid dynasty. Ayyubid dynasty. Mamluk dynasty. In Sudan. The Sena Sultanate was a sultanate in the north of Sudan. It was named Funj after the ethnic group of its dynasty, or Sinar after its capital, which ruled a substantial area of the Sudan region. Horn of Africa. D. Mount. Kingdom of Aksum. Kingdom of Byzine. Kingdom of Belgian. Kingdom of Jaran. Kingdom of Qitaa. Kingdom of Nagash. Kingdom of Tankish, Sultanate of Mogadishu, Ethiopian Empire, Zagwe Dynasty, Solomonic Dynasty, Sultanate of Ifat, Warsang Ali Sultanate, Ajuran Sultanate, Adil Sultanate, Sultanate of Hara, Emirate of Hara, Sultanate of the Gelidi, Majeerteen Sultanate, Sultanate of Ossa, Kingdom of Goma, Kingdom of Jimma, Kingdom of Gumma, Sultanate of Hobyo, Dervish State. Comparison. Vanzina discusses the classification of sub-Saharan African kingdoms, mostly of Central, South and East Africa, with some additional data on West African kingdoms, distinguishing 5 types, by decreasing centralization of power. Despotic kingdoms. Kingdoms where the king controls the internal and external affairs directly. Examples are Rwanda, Encore, Soga and Congo in the 16th century. Regal kingdoms. Kingdoms where the king controls the external affairs directly, and the internal affairs via a system of overseers. The king and his chiefs belong to the same clans or lineages. Incorporative kingdoms. Kingdoms where the king only controls the external affairs with no permanent administrative links between him and the chiefs of the provinces. The hereditary chiefdoms of the provinces were left undisturbed after conquest. Examples are the Bamilk, Lunda, Luba, Lozi. Aristocratic kingdoms. The only link between central authority and the provinces is payment of tribute. These kingdoms are morphologically intermediate between regal kingdoms and federations. This type is rather common in Africa, examples including the Congo of the 17th century, the Chasm, Luapula, Cuba, Noda, Melange, Ha, Zinza and Chaga states of the 18th century. Federations such as the Ashanti Union. Kingdoms where the external affairs are regulated by a council of elders headed by the king, who is simply primus inter pares. Literature. Gates, Henry Lewis and Kwame Anthony Appiah. Africana. The Encyclopedia of the African and African American Experience. New York City. Basic Civitas Books. pp. 2095 pages. ISBN 0-465-00071-1. Hempstone, Smith. Africa, Angry Young Giant. Whitefish. Kessinger Publishing, LLC. pp. 664 pages. ISBN 0-548-44300-9. Wikikagile Godfrey. Africa and the West. Hauppauge. Nova Publishers. pp. 243 pages. ISBN 1-56072-840-X. Oliver, Roland. The Cambridge History of Africa. Cambridge. Cambridge University Press. ISBN 0-521-20981-1. Oliver, Roland and Anthony Atmore. Medieval Africa 1250–1800. Cambridge. Cambridge University Press. pp. 251 pages. ISBN 0-521-79372-6. Shillington, Kevin. Encyclopedia of African History Volume 1 AG. New York. Routledge. pp. 1912 pages. ISBN 1-57958-245-1.